guys, it's time to go over our math solutions for DMA. I hope these have been, warm-ups have been helpful and helping keep those skills that we learned at the beginning of the year and throughout fresh in your mind and keeping your math skills sharp. So we're going to look at week 32, day 2 in our DMA. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first problem, as you see, says 5 times 7 equals 35. So we have a factor of 5, our other factor is 7, and we have a product of 35. It asks for us to write a related multiplication sentence. So that means that we are going to use our understanding of the order property to be able to say, I know that 5 groups of 7 is 35. However, if I take my factors and switch those factors, I know that 7 groups of 5 is the same as 5 groups of 7. So I can use an equal sign and show that relationship by using the order property. And so 7 times 5 is the same as 5 times 7. Well, if I add 5 groups of 7 using repeated addition, I should be able to prove that 5 groups of 7 is the same as 7 groups of 5 if I add 7 groups of 5 to make 35. Number 2 asks us to find what is the perimeter of this shape. So perimeter, remember, if you recall, perimeter has to do with the lines that make up the shape. And the length of those lines are added together to find the total distance of all the lines or the entire outside of the figure. So in this case, we have a rectangle because we have 2 pairs of parallel sides, and these two are parallel with each other as well. And so if we want to find the perimeter, again, we want to add the sides of the figure together to find the length of all the sides together. Notice they're using the units of inches. And if we add 6 plus 6, that gives us 12. We can use and show our work up here. 2 plus 2 is 4. If we add the 12 and the 4, we get a total length of 16 inches. Now remember, perimeter is different from area. Area is the space inside of the figure. So if we wanted to, we could find the area inside of the figure. So that tells us that we have 2 rows and we have 6 squares in each of our rows. So if I have 2 rows with 6 squares in each row, my area is going to be, using multiplication, 12 square inches. Now again, I just wanted to remind you, again, this doesn't say to find the area. I just want to remind you what the difference between perimeter and area is. Okay? Moving on to problem number 3. We have a division sentence here. We have our dividend, which is our total number of objects. We have how many groups we have. We want to find out how many are in each group. So if we have one group and we have a total of 5 objects that we're going to put in that one group, how many objects are in each group? We have 5 in that group. So again, remind yourself that you can check your division by using multiplication. So we have 5 groups, or 5 in each group with 1 group. that gives us our dividend, which is 5. In this case, this is our product. We have 8 groups of 8. I'm going to use the distributive property to help us figure this out. So I'm going to break apart this 8 as 4 and 4. So if I have 8 groups of 4 and 8 groups of 4 again, if we know our multiplication facts, 8 groups of 4 is 32, and 8 groups of 4 is 32, and 32 and 32 is 64. Now, you could have broken this up as 5 and 3, which is also possible. So 8 times 5 is easy to figure out. 8 times 5 is 40, and 8 times 3 is 24. So if I take the 40 and the 24, I'm still going to get 64. So just another way, if you don't know your multiplication facts yet and you have these higher factors, you can break them apart into 2 smaller parts and then multiply that one factor by each of the other factors to figure that out. We have 36 divided by 4. We have 4 groups. Again, this isn't the efficient way, but if we needed to know based on a model, we could use 4 groups and evenly divide the 36 into those 4 groups. So we continue, we're at 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and finally, I guess we could do that, 36. So each group is going to contain 9. So 5 and 4 makes the 9 in each group. So dividend is 36, our divisor is 4, and our 9 is how many is in each group, which is our quotient. Now we're going to take and find the sum. So I'm going to put an S here for sum, just so we get used to knowing that our number can be represented with a letter, a variable, we call it. So S can be for sum. We could use the break apart strategy and add 500 plus 200, which would be 700. 49 plus 2 would be 51, so we'd have 751. Or we could use our understanding of mega 10, add 1 to 549, which would make 550, and add 202 to that, which would make 752. But we're compensating here, so we would subtract this one out and take that one away, and that would give us 751 also as our sum. So again, remember there's several different strategies. If we were going to take and use an algorithm, 9 and 2 is 11. We carry the 10 to the tens place. That makes 50. And we add the hundreds, which makes 700. 751. So whether we use a mental math strategy or we use an algorithm, the sum should continue to be the same. So those are the 4 math problems for today. Again, keeping our minds sharp and our mathematical skills going, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3.